Hi, Evgenia. Hi, Armand. How are you doing today?
Very good, very good. Thank you. Hi.
Hi, doing great.
Hi, good to see you. It's been so long, Evgenia.
I
Nice to meet
know.
you. Look, we're running a bit late already, so sorry about that. We're 15 minutes, late. For those of you who are joining now to get the next session with artists and musician, let's get straight into our topic. Evgenia, Armand, both of you have a deep connection to B2B and SaaS. I'm wondering why is this? Let's give you like maybe a good way to do a short introduction about what you're doing on a daily basis. First, Evgenia, tell us about your role as a partner at Dawn Capital.
Sure. So we are a specialist venture capital investor. We exclusively focus on B2B software. Have been doing that for the past 15 years. And as you say, a lot of people think as you say, SaaS is chic these days, but we've been doing this before it was cool. We invest around Series A and Series B. Tend to skew on enterprise software actually. With a lot of verticals. I'm personally focusing a lot on the infrastructure, data, and analytics. We invest across Europe and Israel, but a lot of our companies, given that their software businesses become really global category leaders.
Thank you, Evgenia. Armand Thiberge, you're the founder and CEO of Sendinblue. I think, it's a good, way to say you're a SaaS, but you're even more than that. Like, please give us a short introduction about the company.
Sure. Sendinblue started in 2013, so 7 years back. Sendinblue is a sales and marketing platform for small and medium businesses. We help these small clients to be successful online by providing tools such as email builder, SMS builder, Facebook, or chat systems. We have today 180,000 clients all over the world. We reached the milestone of 50 million ARR recently, and we are about more than 400 people all over the world today, with an office in India, 150 people. In France, we are 150 as well. We have a Berlin office as well, and a US and Toronto office. And we recently raised 140 million euro with Bridgepoint, BPI, and Partech.
Thank you. Perfect introduction. Just before I follow up with my first question, you're part of the Next 40, right? We discussed this more earlier today with Kat, the Next 40 program. Sendinblue is part of it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Sendinblue is part of the second year in a row. We are part of the Next 40. I'm very, very proud of being ambassador of the French Tech.
Congratulations for that. So I heard, Evgenia, you were saying that one of the reasons why it's so chic to invest in SaaS is because of their global potential, right? Earlier we had Lemlist telling us that they are selling like 85% of their customers are in the US. Is it, something that you have to advise or support, founders that you are investing in a lot? The overall idea or question or challenges around growing internationally. Tell us, about this particular angle on the investor perspective, and then afterward, I'd like to hear on Sendinblue, experience as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, look, the reality of venture investing is that size matters. So we're after really large global markets. If you were to sell just in France or just in the UK, the likelihood is that you probably will be in a nice niche business. So global expansion is extraordinarily important. So we will look for businesses that want to go to the US and conquer the American market most of the time, or that want to eventually expand to say Asia and Latin America. I think the way that we think about it is when we first invest is the founders having that global ambition, kind of looking beyond their borders. Founders that think about their product quite carefully from day one. Is it a national pain point that they have encountered, or is there an opportunity to sell it internationally? And then most importantly, founders that can hire the right talent. I think the borders became very superficial in the last year in COVID, and we've all realized what it's like to work in a remote, globalized world. And we've certainly been seeing this with our software businesses, where one of the things we challenge our CEOs on which I'm sure Armand has experienced a lot, is hiring a person that is better than you in every single function. And many times it's going to be, your sales leader in the US or your marketeer there, your VP channel, perhaps in Japan. Something that we really, really pay a lot of attention to and really help our founders with on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you, Armand. I'm wondering if you went international straight from day one. I guess the answer is yes, but from 2013 up to today, how did it change?
Yes, sure. Yes, we started with French and English languages. Now we have 6 languages. I think there are more than 50 different nationalities at Sendinblue, so very diverse background, because we have clients all over the world. That's very exciting to run a SaaS business indeed, because it's highly scalable. Even if today we have 70% of our revenue are still in Europe, but our first country in terms of new revenue is the US, so it's growing very fast. What is exciting is that there are 50 million small and medium businesses in the world. We have 180,000 clients, which looks a lot, but the potential is still really huge. So we have a traction of more than 60% today, and it wouldn't be possible, of course, if we would remain in France. Moreover, our acquisition is really marketing based. So we are marketing based, which means that clients are coming through more word of mouth and through some paid channels. So we don't have necessarily a sales team in each country in the world. Of course, we have a sales team, but most of our clients are coming directly for the word of mouth from South America, from Asia, from Canada, US, and all other countries in the world. And indeed, it's very exciting to play to play a game on a worldwide scale from day one, and this is what we have been doing since the first days of Sendinblue.
And I think also a way for you to grow is to sort of expand your product offering. Like at the beginning, as far as I know, Sendinblue was very much about email marketing, and now it's coming, closer to the sort of 360 offering.
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. So when we see the journey of a client at Sendinblue, and in general with the digital, our clients are typically small businesses from the normal world. They are not necessarily startups. And the first thing they would do is when they go online, they start by doing a new newsletter, and after that, they start by uploading their base of contacts. They use Sendinblue CRM, and they want to do more complex stuff, such as marketing automation, such as lead scoring, such as segmentation of their contacts. So we are adding more and more pieces to the Sendinblue offer, and our great advantage is that we are positioned as the first need of any SMB that is going online. So after, it's quite obvious that we are the first one that could sell more tools. So we are going today to do also some M&A, because we think that some other companies, you have a lot of niches in the market ecosystem, and we think that it's better to acquire companies and integrate into our one-stop shop solution. So it's a key strategy for us to become this one-stop shop tool, and to be tomorrow's market leader in our space.
You dropped the word M&A. I'm like looking at Evgenia. She's like, looking at you like a bit closer. Just a quick question, like in terms of growing, if you do growth via acquisition in particular, how do you keep this culture in place, right? Like, this is one of the biggest challenge I would imagine for any SaaS business in terms of hyper growth, is how you keep people, aligned in terms of internal culture and company strategy. Like, this must be a challenge. And I'm asking you, Armand, but also I would love to know from Evgenia experience. You were talking about the challenge around talent, earlier. How do you see this coming together? Is it one of the sort of a moat or advantage of a SaaS business is how good you are at, aligning people internally and keeping your culture in place?
Yes, I think that talent is probably the most important thing when you start a business like a SaaS business, like our business, because we are competing with many different players. The world is very competitive. You have, I mean, everyone can start a SaaS business like us in all the countries in the world. And so if you don't have the best solution and the best approach to the market, you will just die. So you need the best talent and the team that is looking that is looking in the long term in Sendinblue. So yeah, I think we were very fortunate to build from the scratch this multicultural company culture with an office from day one in India and in France, because I co-founded the company with an Indian founder. So I think it was one of the key part of this culture building, and it was not easy. It was not easy, but I think we have achieved to build this international culture that helped us to scale and grow.
Thank you. Evgenia, M&A, do you have startups for Sendinblue?
Yeah, I mean, look, M&A is certainly a way to grow, and it's interesting. Then you're kind of bringing us back to different axes of growth, right? You grow either by selling in more different countries, you become a platform, and so you grow by net retention, or when you become of scale, certainly it does become more interesting to start acquiring businesses as well, whether it's an acquire hire and you're acquiring engineers, or it's you're acquiring for a certain level of ROI in different geographies. Now, with all of those things, obviously you start growing really fast. And I look at some of our portfolio companies like Detaico in France, which out of 500, 600 people today, they're probably growing to 1,000 by the end of the year. By the way, if you're looking for a job, Detaico is hiring. I'm just going to put a little placeholder there. And everyone is experiencing that sort of hyper growth. Now, I think ultimately what it comes down to is aligning people in a certain set of values and a mission statement. A lot of it is about people caring that they're solving a real world problem. Whether it is an enterprise AI that they care about, or whether it is empowering people to have more automation in enterprise. Again, as a SaaS investor, those are some of the problematics that we deal with. And then having a certain level of sort of values that work for you, whether you're based in Sao Paulo or in Paris or in Tokyo. And we increasingly see people having really robust talent functions, where it's not just about a recruiter, but actually a proper chief people officer whose job is to have that alignment, particularly as you start adding more offices and your workforce is becoming increasingly more remote, and figuring out how to foster deeper human connections when a lot of it is not in person like today.
Thank you. Tell me if I'm correct, Evgenia, you're the one in charge of the French market at Dawn Capital?
Well, it just happens that I spend a lot of time on France. Despite my very Russian last name, I grew up in France and have a French passport, so it does frequently fall on my plate.
And so, tell me, what is interesting currently, for you as an investor in the French market regarding SaaS and B2B?
Sure. La France, c'est chic. Just as SaaS is chic, so it's double chic. Look, I think what's super duper interesting, and we've seen it in a couple of other panels earlier today when people were talking about engineering talent, and I'm sure Armand can attest to that as well. The French schools, there's almost no second to them in terms of the talent that you have. So a lot of the startups that we see in software, are increasingly more deeply technical, focus on the problems that are quite hard to solve. So I think we're past the days where when people thought about French tech and they were immediately thinking, e-commerce or fashion or whatever that may be. I think today it's a lot more about the next generation database or infrastructure businesses, or solving big problems like healthcare, construction, or enterprise AI, like Detaico. So I think it's quite exciting to see the next generation of software businesses emerging and people capitalizing on those universities and talent to build some of those businesses. So go France.
Thank you. Quick question for you, Armand, as well. Have you seen, like in the last year, in particular, again in France, a growth in the sort of transition to online marketing, like from French clients, like, because people had to move faster online and move, suddenly digitalize their shop or retailers coming to Sendinblue. Did that happen?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. With the pandemic, it was we had the 3 months really crazy at Sendinblue, and we have seen a huge growth in March, April, and May last year. I think those clients that were going for Sendinblue services probably wanted to do this move. They knew that they had to do this move. The problem is that digital marketing and the digital in general looks complex, technical to those small and medium businesses. So they were often postponing their project because of the complexity, and they did not have enough time. But now with the pandemic, they were really forced. Now I have to go there. I have to build to have a digital strategy. I need to start communicating with my clients and launching an e-commerce website. So at Sendinblue, we have 30% of our clients do have an e-commerce website. So it's pretty important, and it's not only in France, and it's in all countries in the world. We see this. We have seen this trend. So yeah, it was clearly a big boost to our activity. But yeah, we have around 60% growth year over year today, and during the pandemic, it was more. We doubled the number of new clients we were acquiring versus just before the pandemic. So it was clearly a big boost for our business.
Yeah, well, that's gonna give me the perfect hint to wrap up this panel and say go France and the SaaS c'est chic. As you can see, 60% growth year over year. Well done on that, and congratulations, again for joining for the second year, the next 40 French Tech. Thank you, Armand. Thank you, Evgenia, so much for joining us today.